me explain. We're at Scripps Clinic with Dr. Jacobson in the neurology department. We have Dr. Joseph Watson with us, medical doctor, osteopathic medicine. We have guest Maxine Seltzer, Jerry Rose. I'm Dr. Jane Dillon, sociologist. We're studying the effects of distant healing treatment in the field of subliminal science and technology, that's what we call it. This is Mary Wahlberg. She's complaining of symptoms of herpes zoster, shingles. She's been diagnosed by a medical doctor today as seeing a rash, and also she will be diagnosed by Dr. Watson right now. We have a blood test taken to confirm the diagnosis. Mary's daughter was seen by Philip Savage 2 years ago for a case of shingles. And maybe we can say just very briefly what happened when you took your daughter, 4-year-old daughter, to Philip.
We came into the room and he did a 15-minute session and she was healed. She had no pain, no itching, and I was very surprised and relieved that she was screaming.
Now, the significance of that for our study is that this was a child. She was 4 years old. She was screaming in pain, and then within a few minutes the pain was gone. There was no belief in this case. There was no placebo. It was a child. She didn't know anybody was taking care of her. She didn't know she was getting any special treatment. In Mary's case, 2 years later, she's developed the same symptoms. It looks and feels like chicken pox. It looks and feels exactly like what Jessica had. The rash is starting to spread and the itching is bothering her and the pain. She was crying this morning in the shower. So we've monitored the pain level and the itching level throughout the day. And it's gone from medium up and down, and it's right around. What would you say now?
Medium.
Medium pain, medium itching.
If you were going to rate it on a 10-point scale, where would your pain be? If 0 is no pain and 10 is the worst you've ever experienced.
My head is probably right now about a 7, and my itching is probably about a 6. The itching had been about a 9, I would say, earlier this morning when I first woke up and really started itching very, very badly. Noticed the rash.
Are you experiencing head pain?
Yeah, I feel like I was 27 when I had chicken pox. And that's what it felt like the day before I got the rash. I felt like my head had been hit by a freight truck, and earlier today it felt at its worst, and then it subsided, and now it's starting to come back to where it's starting to hurt more, medium, where it was high around 11:30 this morning.
When Dr. Savage treated her daughter Jessica, the rash had broken into lesions. They were open, and pain was severe. Instead of waiting until that happens, Philip's going to treat Mary tonight, although Mary has waited through the day until we could all gather. She's agreed to do that. We're going to try to avoid the pain. The significance for our study of subliminal technology is, even though Mary now believes we cannot eliminate the placebo effect with Mary, she's seen this happen. The significance is Philip is going to treat Mary distant. He will not be present. He will be miles away, 20 miles away. So there is it's non-local. It will demonstrate, if the same results, we get the same results, it will demonstrate the non-local effects of his treatment, whereas the treatment on Jessica demonstrated the subliminal part.
20 miles. This is La Jolla, and Philip is in Vista, most likely?
This is Scripps Clinic in La Jolla, and Philip is in Vista, Escondido area. That's 20 miles away at this moment. Now, would you like to then look at the rash and give us your assessment?
Well, we have just a kind of macular papular rash that for the herpes you would expect more along the dermatome. We've got actually a continuation up here that is probably set up because of the way the arm is rubbing against. It's been transferred to an area that would not commonly have it. Was it lower down, you'd probably expect it to go around more. To definitely say it's herpes, but it is a maculopapular rash, and itch is described as would be characteristic. The chickenpox itself is usually a little more scattered, where this is one local, and the herpes zoster comes back in a band, more or less, and this is a band form.
Why do you think it's herpes?
Because when my daughter first got the rash, I thought she was having an allergic, well, I didn't know what it was. I brought her to the doctors, and they said it was an allergic reaction to medicine, because it was just starting in the trunk of her stomach right here. Well, within a couple of days, it gradually moved all the way to the back. And Dr. Phillips' wife told me that's shingles, and I said, no, it's not shingles, because my doctor said it was allergic reaction. Anyways, I took her to the doctor, and he diagnosed her with shingles.
So it looks the same to you?
It looks exactly the same.
Okay. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to page Philip and give him the 3 pieces of information that he needs. He needs the name, the birthplace, and the birth date. Then he will do a treatment, and in 10, 15 minutes we will see the result. If you'd like to ask Mary some questions, feel free.
Have you had a headache like being run by a truck before? Is this a common headache that you get, or is this just one other time?
Just one other time when I had chickenpox. Same headache.
Other rashes? Have there been other rashes that you've experienced?
No, I don't get rashes. I'm not sensitive to detergents, or I don't get rashes.
So how would you say you feel now?
Me right now. My head seems to be increasingly hurting more, and my rash, as long as I leave it alone, it's about medium itch right now.
What have you been doing all day?
I've been keeping ice on it and it seemed to dull the pain a little. What do you mean, what have I been doing?
Have you been itching? Have you been in
Yes,
pain?
I've been
What
itching.
Have you been doing?
The pain and the itching has gone. It hasn't been a constant. When my daughter first got shingles, I noticed that with her. As long as I kept her busy, she was okay. And every once in a while, the itching seemed to really bother her. And then a half hour later, it seemed she got busy and it wasn't so bad. It wasn't until she was diagnosed, and then later that night when the blistering started happening, that it was constant. There was no time where it didn't hurt.
How would you feel if you weren't going to have relief of this?
Oh, I know it. I would feel very anxious and.
Hello? Yes, hi Philip.
I would feel.
We're at Scripps, and I have the information you need. All right, the name Mary, Kate, Kate. Mary is 2 names. Mary Kate is her first and middle name. Her maiden name, her birth name is Gillick, Gillick. Gillick. Wahlberg, Wahl. Wahl. All right. Lberg, Wahlberg. Mary Kate Gillick Wahlberg. The date of birth, place of birth is the Philippines. in Manila Bay, a place called Cavite, Luzon. K-A-V-I-T-E. K-A-E. Yes. Luzon, L-U-Z-O-N. L-U-Z-O-N. She says sure as she can be. She doesn't know. Manila Bay, Philippines. Yes, that's the town and the place. Well, she got it off her birth certificate. She called her mother. K-A-V-I-T-E-L-U-Z-O-N. One letter missing makes a difference. The date, January 13th, 1964. Yes. My time right now is exactly 6:30. You need exactly 1 minute from now. Okay, she will close her eyes for 4 minutes, 5 minutes in 1 minute, and totally relax. Okay, after 5 minutes, she will open her eyes, observe what's going on, and then we will observe the reactions for a half an hour. Very good, all right. So we will give you 1 minute when we hang up the phone. Exactly 1 minute, and then she will be ready for 5 minutes, then she will open her eyes after 5 minutes. Okay? Thank you, Philip. Exactly 1 minute. Does anybody have a timer?
Yes.
Exactly 45 seconds now. Do you want
Minute?
Uh-huh.
Minute.
Okay, you relax completely. Eyes closed for 5 minutes.
Right.
Push your arm down to relax.
That's good. Just relax. Completely relax.
That's 4 minutes. That's the additional minute.
So that's 5 minutes.
That's 5 minutes after the initial minute.
That's
It's
right.
only 6 minutes.
All right.
Go ahead and have another peek at watching the
Say
terminator.
we monitor now for about 10, 20 minutes. How do you feel?
Any different?
Keep telling us we're going to monitor now for about 10,
Okay.
15 minutes. How are you feeling?
Well, my head feels pretty good. Should I touch it to see?
Sure, do whatever you need to do.
Oh. It looks like it should itch. It looks the same to me. That I'm touching it, and the feeling that I had when I touched it before, it has subsided. I still can feel a little, but it doesn't feel the same. It looks like it should hurt, doesn't it?
Mhm.
So I saw
It
that.
looks the
Yeah.
same.
Yes.
Tell us what it feels like. We can't feel what you're
How-
feeling.
what, again, by that, the 0 to 10, what are
Right
you
now,
sensing, yes?
feeling it. Well, see, I don't feel the itch right now, but touching it, I feel, probably like a 3.
So by comparison to 6 earlier, it's now
Yeah.
a 3.
Yeah.
And where's your head discomfort now on the old 10-point scale?
Like 1. My head feels fine.
Wow.
My head doesn't hurt anymore.
So it's gone from a 7 to a 1.
This is where,
Tell us what it feels like. You're
No,
going
go
to
ahead.
tell us.
She's trying.
I just did. I feel, the rash part, just holding it up like right now, probably feels like a 1.5, like it should be itching. But when I touch it, it's about a 3.
Oh, I see.
The part under your arm, this part of your butt, that
Right here?
looks smaller.
That's what I
That's
was gonna say
definitely
also.
It looks
smaller.
like it's
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
a
as
third of the
intense,
size.
it's not as intense as it was.
yeah.
Well, I've never seen this before. I didn't see this
Are you
happen to your
videoing?
daughter.
Mhm.
I've never seen this, and I saw it earlier.
Mhm.
And it looks
It looks like
totally
it's
different. It looks
getting
just like a
smaller and
pink
smaller.
skin.
The primary spot would be expected to be underneath the arm,
Mhm.
along
Yeah.
with the dermatome.
Right.
And so that's most likely what would be treated. The other's like a secondary one, and it may have a different time in responding.
Sure.
Is there anything back here happening? We were itching over your back, and
Yeah, well, I had this scratch for a day, and there was no rash.
right.
It wasn't until later
Been
that
itching
night.
for several days. Yes.
Yeah, and so my back has been itching just for the last hour or 2. I just noticed it started itching, and
What's
it doesn't
happening
itch right now, but it wasn't, it was more like when this first started itching. It wasn't like, it was, if I touched it, it itched. It was just, every once in a while it would itch and I'd itch it, but this is more like, this is what this was at the beginning stage.
Uh-huh.
My back was feeling more like,
Do you have any itch in your back now?
no.
So the itch that you were starting to develop that was
I
similar
am, yeah.
to the original itch that you
No.
had on your side there has
Yeah.
gone away totally.
Yeah,
Since the
for my
treatment.
back, yeah.
Wow. And how's your head, that slight 1, is that gone now, or?
Oh, well, when, that would be feeling good, right?
I don't know.
Or would there be a
0,
0?
0. Right now I have a
You were
1 from the
Zero
tension.
is, zero is
I know.
0 is no pain.
Yeah, 0 is no
Okay,
pain.
then, well,
So
I think we're pretty close to 0. Yeah, I would
Let's
say
wait
0.
Let's wait a few minutes
Every
and
5
see if
minutes.
it's for real.
So when would we expect to see the rash subsiding?
I don't know that we have an expectation yet. We've not seen this. I've not seen a shingles taken care of this early in its stage. The 2 shingles cases that we have that Philip treated from California to New York, which you've all seen that documentation, were cases of shingles that had already gone 3 or 4 days after the outbreak. And in those cases, the pain went away right away. The itching was minimal 4 hours later. The next day, the lesions were drying up and going away and took a few days to go away. In Jessica's case, the daughter, what happened? 'Cause
The pain was gone immediately. All the itching pain was gone right away, and her rash, it stayed for about a week, gradually subsiding, and then the actual redness, where you could see, was there for about a month, and then it was gone. There's no sign, no scarring. You would look at her and you would never know she'd had shingles.
And that was one treatment?
That was one treatment, yeah.
That's unusual that there's no scarring with Jessica's lesions, that there would be some
She
slight
had it
something later.
I've
apparently.
never seen shingles, but it was really,
Really bad.
blister. It was really bad.
So we don't
Chicken
know
pox.
what's going to happen with Mary because Philip Savage has not treated a case that I've seen this early. So anything's possible with this rash. We could visibly watch it go away.
A shared patient that had primary pulmonary hypertension, and he was able to work on her for a while and get the hypertension to go away, but the heart muscle itself was quite large. And on the ultrasound follow-up, the tech wanted to call the emergency squad to be ready for heart failure, and asked her if she had a problem getting to the elevator to go up. And she says, elevator, I took the stairs. And the heart was so large, but the disease process had been gotten away with. The exercise that the heart had been doing during that disease process was going to take a while to go away.
By treating it this early, same with the third-degree burns. The earlier, the better, because he's able to bypass the effects that burn or a shingles disease would create. He's able to shift into a different reality, help her shift into a different reality where fire doesn't burn and there's no disease. And then the body then follows suit.
Yeah.
If it isn't burned, then it doesn't
It
act
goes-
like
goes
it's
back to-
burned.
Goes back to
to
health.
its normal, healthy state.
And
Yes.
the away from health that's already been manifest is replaced by the health that's within the system.
Yes. And he's able to do that by tapping into what he calls the psychocontinuum, which is a state of non-separability of all life. That we're all connected. And at that level, he's able to take care of the person while the person is restoring their own balance where they can then take care of themselves. It's like training a child to ride a bike. I watched a father do that yesterday. He holds the bike, follows around while the child's learning to ride the bike. So that is apparently what Philip Savage is able to do until the person is then able to restore their own health. It's called a state of entropy, a state of destruction. The body is destroying, and he reverses it and so that it's revitalized. Let's hear a quick report now. What are you?
Okay, the rash itself, did you want to? Okay,
Thank you.
bye.
Bye, Maxie.
The kind of rash where you feel like it itches, that is at about 1.5. The touching of it is about, it's even better, about a 2.5, I would say, and my head still doesn't hurt.
Are you glad?
This morning I was crying. I was going, oh, please let me be able to get a hold of Philip. I didn't know if he had moved or what.
Mhm.
But
Is this what you expected?
yeah, I know he can heal me. It's just this whole, I'm still a little bit of a skeptic, but I've seen it work with my daughter, and so I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to be screaming in 4 days. I know that for sure. I do know that.
Lynn, you have the camera. Do you have any questions?
How did you first
Skeptic.
hear about Philip? How did you come across him for your daughter?
Well, as my priest said, he was a gift. He happened to be living in the neighborhood, and he was a friend of a friend. And
You
my
were
kids-
desperate.
Yeah, I was desperate, and I really didn't want to go to him. But that sleepless night that Jessie had, I just couldn't stand seeing her and the pain that she was in, and I just figured, well, I have to try something. My doctor's not giving me anything, and the oatmeal baths and the calamine isn't doing anything, so I went to him, and I was very surprised. I think my words was, it's a miracle. Because I tell you, my daughter, it was bad. It was really bad. And right after he finished with her, I mean, even during it, she was in peace. You look at her face, she was in peace. And it was amazing. It was a miracle. It really was. I saw it. I believe it. If somebody told me about it, I'd probably, I don't know, I'd be skeptic still. But I
as you're
saw
saying,
it.
you had the pain that you came in with, and your headache went away right away, so you were experiencing the same thing that you saw in your daughter, or similar.
Yeah, well, well, with my daughter, her pain was so great. And I think she's also younger. I don't know. But right away, instantly, she had no pain. The blisters stayed. They were there, and, you know, they went, I think they followed its natural course. I think what she went through, her healing, the physical, looking at it was a natural. But the scarring, not having scarring, that wasn't natural. I hear you always get, well, I don't know. I've heard that
Frequently
you
get
do
scarred.
get scarred. So that was not normal, and the way that she felt afterwards was not normal. I mean, she wanted
was exactly normal.
it was exactly, yes,
It's
natural.
abnormal
Natural.
To be diseased.
to be diseased.
Yeah.
We call it normal, but it's not normal at all to be
Right.
diseased.
Well, we didn't want you to get to the blister stage and the pain stage.
Yeah, I
It would have
didn't
been better
even-
for the experiment.
That's why I said, you know, I'm calling Philip now. I'm not even waiting.
So we appreciate you waiting until 7 o'clock for your relief.
Wow. That's okay.
Because you were in pain. You were
Yeah.
in pain all day. I watched you. You were in pain. You were in itching. It was getting better and worse. And
Mhm.
there was fear. What if it doesn't work? She was still a little skeptical, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that's natural.
I mean, even
Maybe
though
I-
he did it for my daughter, I mean, this long distance thing, it's kind of weird.
That's right.
He was there with your daughter then,
Yes.
Yeah.
right there. Okay.
Yeah, and I watched them, believe me, I watched everything. It's like, what are you doing to my daughter?
That's right. At least you
Mhm.
saw something taking
He
place.
he never touched her. He never touched her shingles, but
Got close to her.
he got within an inch, I guess.
That's right. So this distant thing is new. Totally
Yeah,
new for you.
It's new for me, and it's still kind of weird.
What is
I
it
really
like?
don't-
What does it feel like? Did it?
I feel much better. I know when I go to bed tonight, I'm not going to have to worry. I know that. You know, I'm not going to have to worry about blistering. Because I have 2 kids. I don't have time to get sick. I just don't. And the way I was feeling earlier today, I was very, very irritable, like I was when I had chickenpox. I was, you know, very jittery, and almost like when I had chickenpox, I put Caladryl all over my body, and I did not know that you don't put Caladryl all over your body because it really amped me up. That's how I felt.
Oh.
I was very, very edgy.
You called me earlier. You said my feet are jumping
I'm in
up
constant,
and down.
I'm in constant motion, and that was, I would say, this morning it was at its worst. The itching and the pain was at its worst this morning, and then it kind of came and then gone and came and gone, and
Until somewhere midday, when you say you felt like you were hit by a truck, all of a sudden you go, "This is exactly
Yeah,
what
around
chickenpox feels like."
I remember it was around 11,
Yeah.
11:15, exactly. In fact, I was talking to my daughter. She was screaming at me, and it made it even worse. I was going, "Leave me alone!" When you hear noises, it's very painful. But
Do you have other questions? You probably have the good questions.
As the skeptic, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
For the 5 minutes you were sitting there relaxing, what sensations did you have?
I felt very relaxed, and I thought I wouldn't. I thought I would feel jittery, you know, kind of moving around, or you know, have a hard time keeping my eyes closed. But I felt very relaxed. I felt, I don't know if this is how it's supposed to be, but my head felt, I felt like not like a tingling sensation, but something was going on. I felt something easing. It was like a calming kind of feeling. And my rash actually kind of felt like it was almost kind of inflamed a little during that 5 minutes, like there was something going on there. And I thought it would feel a little better during that time, but it actually was kind of like somebody was doing this to it during that. And then that's about it. And then it stopped. Is he still working his magic right now? He's
Not
already did?
magic, it's science.
Is he still meditating right
It's
now?
a spiritual science
I know.
that we simply don't know a whole hell of a lot about yet. We
Yeah.
don't know how rockets go up. We don't know how the cellular phone works. We don't know how the TV and the radio works. Try to tell me. We don't know how gravity works, but we are now used to it. We're simply not used to this yet. That's all.
Yeah.
We will know.
Yeah.
So of course he's still working.
Yeah.
He's operating the laws of science, and we call it physics. Well, if it has to do with natural and body, mind, then it's
You're sure he's still working?
he's not doing it processing like he was, but is he still working? He is taking care of you. He is constant. He will now keep taking care of you till everything is in balance. Am I sure he's still working? Yeah, I can feel him working.
Your other, under your other, has that been asked already? Under your other arm?
No,
What
that
do-
hasn't been asked.
And it looks normal? I mean, that's,
Yeah, I haven't been itching now.
okay.
That's what my doctor said. Why is it itching over there and not over there? I don't know.
So no, he probably still isn't treating
Right.
specifically. 5 minutes.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if this tape would be inferencing something else.
I think you're right. I think it's to say that his treatment was for 5 minutes, exactly, precisely like he said. It's a science. You do, you spell one letter wrong in
A
the
surgical procedure,
A
a
sur-
5-minute surgical procedure.
exactly. Then and then the effects are mathematical.
And is the focus on the whole person or on the shingles?
Never on the shingles.
So my question is, if she has athlete's feet,
Mhm.
athlete's foot,
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be-
be helped? You bet. You should see what happened to the little dog, the 9-year-old that has the cancer. She had a cyst somewhere. It's totally gone. It was not treated. Nobody even knew she had the cyst. She's acting like a puppy. The panting is gone that goes with that disease. She's fighting for her food. She's taking walks. The entire family is affected. Nobody asked for help for the mother, the grandmother, the daughter whose ankle got sprained and got fixed like overnight. The husband, the sales of the woman is in sales, marketing. They've tripled her sales in 2 weeks. She's tripled her sales. The entire family has benefited from this experience.
I've talked to this lady.
Didn't ask for that.
I've talked to this lady who Jane is referring to, Patricia. It's phenomenal, the things that have happened to this lady.
And it's not something you can control. It's like the way it's supposed to be. It's natural. We're all supposed to be human beings operating at more than 90% of our brain. We're all supposed to be giving and loving each other and all life. We are all connected. So once he is asked to give, and it's given like this, the effect is just extremely far-reaching. Everyone in this room benefited.
I'm going for my eye test tomorrow. I read the testimonial.
Now, the other part of that is that when people are given something, the human heart naturally wants to reciprocate and give back. And at that point, when the human heart wants to reciprocate in gratitude, it wants to. If it then wants to and is thwarted from that, that's wrong. That's like an obstruction. The natural response is gratitude, wanting to give, and then giving. If that's aborted at any phase in that process, then it's like a disease state. It's dis-ease. And then you enter a relationship of reciprocity until it becomes absolutely natural. That's the natural state of human beings. Constantly giving, loving, taking care of one another. I think he wants his own report.
Wasn't how good he did.
Hello? No. Hi, Patricia. We were just talking about you.
Whoa, that is weird.
Yes. Well, we just finished, and we've got phenomenal results. We were just talking. We're videotaping it, and we're documenting the results for a period of a half an hour. So we have about 10 more minutes.
You need
So
a
what's up?
video phone?
Oh, okay. Who? Warren? Our husband? He knows his foot was healed? He does. He walked on it. This is Patricia's husband. So he went to the doctor, just a bruise, no problem. So Warren knows? And he's grateful. Really? This is the skeptic husband. We have a skeptic wife here. Well, it's great. What about Jessica? Did you see her today? Okay, find out, and also Patrice. Okay? Okay, so then they're all taken care of. I can hear it in your voice. Very, very sweet. He did.
Yeah, we haven't been documenting these.
Okay,
That's a
write
good
it
thing.
down.
You forget it's there. You're so comfortable
Okay,
with the
and
camera.
encourage him to reciprocate.
No, size.
Good.
Your arms can
Thank
stay
you.
the same size, and your
Yes.
body's can stay the same
Bye.
size, and your redness should change.
Amazing. So Patricia's husband.
Okay, now we can do a really up close one.
Okay. I know I need to work on my arms. My arm muscles here. I don't pick up babies anymore, so.
This would have been much
Yeah.
better. This is really a nice
Presumably.
size now, yeah. Fills the screen a lot better.
You'll have to do the next one. You're getting
Yeah.
better at this.
I'll bring my own camera though. It's a lot more comfortable.
Smaller, probably.
Yeah, easy to handle.
Okay, well, my head feels the same. I feel good in my head. Another thing is my neck was really sore, like really tense. It's not anymore. I feel relaxed there. I didn't want to seem like a real big complainer, so I didn't say anything about that. But my neck feels a lot better. The rash is about the same as it was, about 2.5, 3. Feeling it this way.
Mhm.
So I can feel something's going, like what is it? Your body starts kicking in and does it itself.
Exactly. That's what he says. Your body
Yeah,
will
that's
kick
what
in
it
and,
is, like.
because he's not here doing anything to your body.
Mm-hmm.
We're connected. Your body is supposed to function at a healthy level. So he's been boosted. He's boosted you. He's taken care of you. He's reversed it, boosted, whatever you want to call it. Patricia calls it quickening. That's what I used to call it. And so your body kicks into gear and starts to do the way the Creator designed it. Kick into health. It's just going to happen faster. Real fast in your case.
Sounds good to me.
Let me ask maybe a technical question. If shingles is left unattended, if we had done nothing, what
Right.
would be the long-term prognosis and final outcome?
A period of 3 days minimum to likely 3 months of incredible pain and blistering. Just horrible, horrible pain, and then eventual resolution.
So in other words, it would take a normal course and resolve itself to full health.
Should, except for most of it's not health because it goes and it hides in the nerves and then come back again. And I'm presuming that this will not show up again. That this is truly healed and not just the natural course of the herpes is to go and wait till there's enough stress for it to be exhibited again. The shingles.
That's what happened to my sister. She had it for an extended period.
It does lay dormant and reappear though in another time.
It often does.
Yeah, that's what
That's
happened.
what the unhealthy state
Mhm.
of it does.
Now, we won't know this for quite a while,
Oh, yeah.
for the course of her life, but she will probably not have shingles ever again. It's removed from her system. Same with the 2 women in New York, which we won't know about.
Is there a way to test that it's been removed from the body?
She's had the I don't know. She's had the blood work before.
Right.
So depending on what they tested with that, there may be some markers that will not show up again. But there also are markers that once made stay around for a fairly long time. It may be years before they go away. They might not.
In the case of the baby born in Europe, when Philip was taking care of the mother, the baby was in the womb, diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. when the baby was born, he was born not only without cystic fibrosis, but no trace of it in his genes, nor was it in the parents anymore. So it was taken care of. It was out of them.
Would Philip know if these markers would now be seen in a blood test?
That's not his expertise.
I don't understand that.
No, Philip will know that it's removed from her.
Yeah.
Philip knows it's removed from her. It's up to the medical technology to determine their indicators of what's going on in her body. That's not his field.
I guess what I'm asking is, with his history in healing,
Mm-hmm.
would he know in a case like shingles if the markers are gone in the blood work?
He knows in the cases of shingles, it's gone from her body.
So it would be
It won't
interesting-
recur again, and it's
It'd be
gone.
interesting if whatever the period of time, be it 6 months or a month from now, we took a blood test to see what the markers were.
Yeah, but Philip, that's not it. He doesn't know anything about that. That's the doctors, how they decide.
Lab technicians.
Lab, yeah. The person will know throughout the course of her life
Mhm.
whether she ever gets shingles or
But
not.
if I-
Often it recurs.
But if I understand the doctor's explanation, if normality, in other words, Western medicine would have taken care of this, or if it was left unattended.
The disease process versus the health process. The disease process doesn't make the disease go away. It prevents it from exhibiting itself, but it's
Mhm.
still there.
Mhm.
In health, you look for health, which is also a Western paradigm, but not as well known. And once you pull that health out, you don't focus on the disease.
Mhm.
Anybody can find disease. The true physician or healer is the one that can find the health behind the disease.
Mhm.
And when you have that express itself, there is no more disease. You haven't gotten rid of the disease, you just had the health express itself.
I see.
We've gotten to the cause of all of this so-called disease, which is a shutdown of the system.
Of the health, yeah.
Yeah, and as it gets shut down and beat down, it starts to destroy itself, and then eventually you die. Like a chair is degenerates after a while. It doesn't. The human body is set up to revitalize and not. Okay, so what he does is he reverses it, and it revitalizes
He puts it back on its original path.
to its original path, right? So he goes to the cause of all disease, which is why it doesn't matter what it's being treated. He doesn't treat the disease. He treats the cause of it, which is entropy, shut down,
Separation from the divine.
okay? And separation, if you don't like the divine, separation from the connectedness of all life. Okay? And instead of shutting down and degenerating, it revitalizes and reconnects with all life. All life. With a capital L. And that is the process of health that Dr. Watson's done.
It's been half an hour.
Okay, it's been a half an hour. So let's monitor final report here.
Okay, my head still feels great. My shoulder and my back feels good. The visual, the thinking that it itches is probably at a 1. And the touching of it is where it's probably at a 1.5 or 2.
Well, we can see when we look at the video, but I haven't seen you itch.
No,
I've been watching you itch all day.
now I'm gonna itch.
I haven't seen you itch. Has anybody seen her
No,
itch in
no.
a half an hour? No.
Not since she's had the shirt off.
No,
Not
you've been
true.
talking and you definitely look relaxed, so we can check that with the videotape. You haven't itched.
No.
It was
No.
interesting out in the lobby
That's
how
interesting.
you were itching.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a continuous itch, but it was with some frequency.
Well, I was hoping nobody noticed that.
Well, so-
I'm trying to be sly about it.
Something that was obvious, you were uncomfortable. Now you're not
making-
uncomfortable.
trying to
No.
embarrass you, but that's true. I didn't even realize it. But you have an itch. You don't have pain. Okay. How else do you feel?
So the pain went down in her head from a 7 on a 10-point scale to a 1 or a 0.
Right.
The itching went
Zero.
down from
Right.
a
Six.
6
To a
to a
2 or 3.
1 or a 1.5.
I'm feeling pretty good. I know I'm gonna have a good night's sleep tonight.
And I haven't heard that either. Before it was, no, I don't feel any pain. This time she says, well, my head still feels great. She hasn't used that word, okay. So
Your level
you
of
feel
stress
great now.
seems like it's much less than what I saw when I first met you
Yeah.
over an hour ago. You seem to be
feeling-
relaxed and happy.
And you're smiling and
I'm
laughing. I haven't
feeling
seen
pretty
that
good.
either.
I'm wondering if I have lipstick on right now.
Thank you, Philip Savage.
Yes, it is.
Would you like to
Well, I
say?
didn't really care earlier.
Done very well.
We say thank
Good job.
Yes,
Philip?
thank you, Philip. Very much.
Thank you, Dr. Watson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jacobson. Any questions? Any questions from you? Dee? Joe, thank you.
Yeah, just if she could take a little video before she goes to sleep tonight, when she wakes up, maybe noon tomorrow when she goes to sleep, kind of on that schedule would be useful to add to it.
Very good.
She may wake up and it'll be gone.
Okay,
Very good.
Great.
cool. Okay.
It'll probably resolve within, my guess is, given where it's at, the fact that it had stopped hurting, the rash will probably resolve within 24 to 36 hours,
My guess.
I guess.
Sounds good.
My guess is it's gonna be gone tomorrow morning. I was,
Well, now, I'm not gonna be graded on this, right?
it's not up to you,
I
dear.
know.
If it was up to you, I'm afraid you'd be
I
headed
know,
for blisters right now.
I know, but you know.
Patricia just called, the woman with the dog. Cancer, two tumors, inoperable brain.
You
one
had
of
your,
them.
you may want to put your tissue
Oh
back.
yeah, my other t-shirt.
9 years old, they didn't want to lose the
My
dog.
other lip.
Mm-hmm.
She said, if Philip can do this with fire, severe burn, I wish he could help my dog. I said, of course he can, but it isn't free. Research, it's free. Shingles and burn. Okay, I'll pay. Okay, she paid like $630. 3 treatments, $210 each. Remember that one? Okay. First treatment, he was out of town. She came to my house. I was there. So he said, you meet her. I said, okay. So I go through all these convulsions and everything. 1 treatment. And I thought it was over, and it's like, this is whatever. And then, bam, it hit full force again. It was the bad tumor, the big bad tumor, and it was like, I was like shaking. So that went on for about 20 minutes. And they experienced all kinds of incredible things. White light, a roaring sound of wind, breathing, everything was glowing, the daughter and the mother. They go home, they're totally revitalized. It was a 2-hour trip down from LA, a 2-hour trip back. Nobody was tired, including the dog. They get home, everybody's all energy. The dog has stopped all the panting that go with that disease. Eventually is, over the next days, fighting for her territory of her food dish, taking walks she was not able to take again. She had another distant treatment 3 weeks later, and she will have the final one. The dog is like a puppy, totally different. The entire family is noticing this. The skeptic husband, the grandmother who has nothing to do with the family but lives there. Patricia is a saleswoman for the whole lifetimes in LA. Her sales have increased triple in 2 weeks since she got back to work after the holidays. Her daughter has had troubles at school. All of it resolved beautifully with the principal, with the this, with the that, with the
So,
dance teacher.
What you're telling me is to make the most out of Philip's treatment, we need to pack as many people into the room with the person
Everyone
being
here
treated as
was
possible,
everyone
right?
here was helped. There's no question. It cannot be stopped. It is a minimal, okay. But the idea is to give back, reciprocity. That is the natural thing to do. Is to be grateful for this, whoever it is. But it happens to be Philip Savage, okay, and whatever. But she called today. The daughter last week sprained her ankle, had to have crutches, had to go to school. Within a day, the ankle was fixed. Okay, that's not normal.
She didn't get another treatment for the ankle.
The
No.
people have never gotten a treatment.
Okay.
The people have not paid for
People
anything and not
identified
gotten
with the
anything.
animal who was getting
People
treatment,
are
and
getting
they were
what-
in the
What
proximity.
we would call a free lunch. Except Patricia's trying to put on a workshop. She's telling all her friends. She's on the phone. This is reciprocity. She's giving. She understands. She gets it. The husband is like watching. The mother is now participating in the family in a loving way, keeping track, with the daughter, with everybody. Unbelievable relationship change. The husband fell down the stairs and sprained his ankle, got put a cast on, and was going back to the doctor today. She didn't ask
Patricia didn't ask. She didn't dare ask because she wouldn't. But she was telling me. So I'm going, waiting for somebody to ask, right? And somebody to put a check in the mail. And nobody did. So I said nothing, you know. Let's see what's going to happen here. Like if you hadn't paid or asked, then get blisters, right? So last night after talking to Patricia, she's got 3 friends at work, 2 with cysts, 1 with genital herpes, and wants her love light turned around. And I'm going, fine, come down, 210 times 3. For the single mother, okay, 150 times 3, you know, they're bargaining. Finally, she's talking to them last night, and finally I get off the phone, and I had a great weekend, all-day meditation and everything. I said, okay, I know Patricia's been asking. My heart knew, her heart, but so I said, okay, I'd take care of them. So I did what Philip's taught, and I kind of called on Philip, and I tapped, and she called. Patricia called again. I said, okay. No, today I talked to her. I said, okay, find out. I invited her to this. She said, no. Find out how Warren is. Why? She says, because we took care of him. So Warren was there, and they got off the phone. He took off his cast. He's saying, it's all gone. There's no pain. He goes to the doctor's appointment, which I knew they were going. He says, oh, everything's fine. It's just a little bruise. And she just called to tell me. Warren gets it. He understands. He's very grateful. It's like, well, how much does Warren make?
Well, right.
I mean, come on.
Right. And so you obviously arranged to have Warren fall down the stairs.
You would say that.
One way to drum up business, right?
Philip,
Especially with doubters.
we cannot do that. You can only bring the benefit to people.
Well,
We done?
I don't know how you can explain that, skeptic. They call it love in religious
Are you
trade.
done?
They
I
call
don't
it
know. Are
love.
you done? You
Mhm.
done taping?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, it's 6:30 in the morning. What day is it? Tuesday morning. And the rash is still visibly there. The itching is about a 3, and the feeling that it itches is about a 3. Maybe a 4, 3 to 4. My head feels fine. It feels like something's going on there, like it's working itself out. But I was too tired last night to videotape. I just wanted to go to bed. And last night, right when Jane left, right when she left the room, I just started taking care of my kids, and I started noticing that it was itching, and feeling like it should itch. That last night it was at a scale of about what it is now. And then I slept through the night, and now it's 6:30. So it is 1:10 Tuesday afternoon, and the rash is at about 2.5, 3, and so is the rash pain. My head feels fine. The rash is smooth in the center, a little bumpy on the outer part, around the surrounding areas. That's about it. Okay, it's around 11:30 Tuesday night, and the rash is at 2, about 1.5 to 2, and the pain, what I would call sensitivity. It's around 6:30 Wednesday morning, January 20th, and my rash is at, the itching is about 4, And tenderness is about a 1. As far as pain or discomfort touching, it's about a 1. About a 1. The itching has subsided. It's 1, maybe a half of 1. And it's drying out, and it's not bothersome at all. Maybe if I touch it and scratch it, it might become irritated, but it's fine. And it's 1:30 Thursday afternoon, and I forgot to videotape this morning, but this morning it was the same thing. Saturday, 1:30 in the afternoon. The redness is gone. It's dry and bumpy on the outer parts and flaky, and there's some, and down here too, kind of has little red dots. No itch, no pain, no redness.